Morning. Morning. Another week of nonsense football from my from my club, which we'll get into in a minute. We're in the mud, to be honest, at the moment. But we were in the mud this time last season as well, and obviously January saved us because we brought in two very, very highly skilled footballers. And I think we need to do the same again, especially in defence. But as I stated before, we'll get into all of that. I'm going to go through Matchday 20 and then obviously Matchday 21 predictions. There were a couple of Matchday 7s that had to be played as well during the week because obviously they were cancelled for COVID reasons, I believe. So they were both played, and obviously we were involved in that as well. But we'll get through all of that anyway. Matchday 20 will start at Villa Park. 2-1 to Aston Villa versus Leeds United. Very, very entertaining game. But it tends to be that when Leeds United are in town, because you're guaranteed a bit of a goal fest. And now Leeds United have a winger in Nonto who scored the Canio-esque volley in the FA Cup this week as well. Good player. Very, very good player. And I don't obviously see him staying there for too long. Villa came out winners 2-1. I think they just came down to experience in the end. Deserved the win, absolutely, but took their foot off the gas last 20 minutes and obviously almost let Leeds back in because Leeds were just peppering them for the last sort of 15-20 minutes. But to no avail. Aston Villa 2, Leeds United 1, which obviously elevates Aston Villa a little bit more. Leeds United still in a little bit of trouble down there sort of near the relegation zone. Still don't think they'll get relegated. I think they've got enough about them to stay up. Patrick Bamford is back. He's the one that scored like sort of a consolation goal for them as well then. But I think they'll be absolutely fine. Manchester Derby. Again, another good game. See, what we need Manchester City to catch Arsenal, and they are going to do it. It's going to happen, obviously. Yeah, we just need people just to part ways for them and let them do what they need to do, innit? I know Pep Guardiola is getting into his players now. Obviously after they beat us, but he doesn't think that they were good enough, to be honest, and I actually agree with him. But Man United are on bits at the moment. I keep on saying, I've said it every step of the way this season. If we didn't have Conte, I would have gone with Ten Hag, and I do still believe that Conte is still the man for the job. It's the players that are letting everything down, to be quite honest with you, which is obviously something that I've known for years. These players aren't good enough, to be honest, especially that defence. That whole defence needs shooting. So, you know. But the game, United versus Man City, again, another very entertaining one. City took the lead through a Grealish header. And then obviously Man United rallied with a very questionable offside goal. Very questionable. It was offside, let's face it. Like, if Marcus Rashford doesn't make that run for the ball, then Manchester City defenders don't get into the positions that they do for Fernandes to finish. It's the way it is. He's interfering with play. Simple as that. But they let it stand, and then obviously Rashford's got his goal, customary goal, which made his run go on. I think his run was broke against Crystal Palace because obviously he didn't score, and that I'll get into that. That was the other game from Matchweek 7 that had to be replayed. No, good game. Man United will probably be in my top 4 now. I don't see them dropping off. I think they've got a really solid base and a really good manager that knows what to do game in, game out. Tough one this weekend over at the Emirates, but I do think they'll get the job done. Arsenal cannot win this league, so I'm still calm. I'm not even worried that Arsenal are doing what they're doing at the moment because they're going to flunk anyway. So I don't even care. Molyneux, Wolverhampton versus West Ham United. West Ham are in deep trouble. Word to Simon Hook. Yeah. They've just signed Danny Ings. I think he was the least of their problems. I personally think their midfield isn't as good as everyone's making out. Declan Rice seemed very, very off it. Thomas Souček seems very, very off it. Ben Rama, I don't think is good enough. Fornals, I don't think is good enough. They just need an overhaul, a little bit like us with our midfields. Defensively, they're okay, but again, I still think they need a little bit more back there. Wolverhampton, like I said, will not be relegated this season. They do have a very, very good manager now that knows how to ball out, especially in certain situations. And Wolverhampton, once they get going, are one of the better footballing teams in the league. Midfield, very, very good. Ruben Neves can pick a ball from anywhere, to be quite honest with you. 60, 70-yard passes, it's nothing for him. But Wolverhampton will get better. throughout the season, so I'm not worried about them in the slightest. They ran out 1-0 winners. Nottingham Forest versus Leicester City. I keep on telling you lot about Nottingham Forest, especially their home form. I think they've lost, what, 1 game there all season, and that was to us? 2. Fulham. Us and Fulham, I think, are beaten. The only 2 teams that have beaten them there this season. But they've taken points of Chelsea, they've taken points of Liverpool. They'll take points of other teams as well. Nottingham Forest at home are not a joke. And Leicester City went there and found out and got absolutely packed in. Had no response. Nottingham Forest, and especially night games as well, like, you know, under the lights, like Nottingham Forest, City ground tends to come alive. And this is what I've been trying to tell you lot. I don't think Nottingham Forest are going down. If Forest are clever, they will literally play for draws away from home, because they know that they can get the wins at home. And that's what they're doing. They've just signed a midfielder, Danilo, I believe it is, and a Brazilian midfielder, and Chris Wood this window as well, another goal scorer. They'll be fine. I've been saying it all season, they'll be one of my surprise packages, and I genuinely believe Nottingham Forest are going to be up sort of in the 12th, 13 positions, well away from the relegation zone. As for Leicester City, it's difficult to see where they go from here. James Maddison's still out, Jamie Vardy getting old, Tielemans seems off it at the moment. Harvey Barnes hasn't scored in I think the last 4 games now. Yeah, massive overhaul needed there. And I think they're bang in trouble now. Brendan Rodgers knows it. They got nothing to spend again. It's going to be a peak summer, I think. Need investment. I don't know where they're getting it from, but we shall see. Time will tell. Amex. I had Liverpool fans all week trying to yap, but all the while your team is sat in 10th. So you go to the Amex, you go to the Seagulls, you go to the beach side of Brighton to get snapped up like chips. Is that what? Listen, mate. Liverpool went there and got absolutely slid, and I'm so happy about that, because there's a certain Liverpool fan that tries to run his mouth, doesn't know anything about football, is not even a real scout, pretends he knows about ball. He don't know nothing, innit? Go and get that formula, innit, and keep doing it. Mug. But 3-0. 3-0 Brighton. And it was easy for them as well. Solly March at the double, and Danny Welbeck rolling back the years. Like he's a youth player, like he's doing it in the under 18s, flicking it over a man and putting it in the corner. I see. Liverpool are done out here, innit? Virgil van Dijk, as big of a miss as he is, I think there's a lot more to this sort of Liverpool slog at the moment. They need an overhaul of about 6 or 7 players, all under the age of 25, that can keep running for the full 90 minutes. That press ain't there anymore. They're finding new ways of trying to play. I know they won in midweek, but they're just not at the same intensity level anymore at the moment. Will that change? I don't know. Will he get backed again? I do not know. But at the moment, Liverpool are in the mud, worse than us. So take that, put that in your pipe and smoke it. He knows what I'm talking about as well. Don't ever try and come for me ever again. Everton 1, Southampton 2 from Goodison Park. Everton, as I've stated before, as long as Lampard is in the job, he's going to get them relegated. They need to sack him now. Everton have a good team. They've got good players. They're just not playing. Southampton are a weird one. I don't think Nathan Jones is the right man for the job. But as a decent manager as he is in the Championship, this is a massive step up for him. Kudos to them. They're on a run of about 4 games unbeaten. No, sorry, hang on. No, they're not. They're on a run of 2 games unbeaten. I thought it was 4 games. They lost to Fulham last week, didn't they? But James Ward-Prowse seems to be in the form of his life at the moment. He's a player, actually, that I wouldn't mind us taking a look at. I'm going to be honest. We need a number 8/number 10-ish. He's playing in a number 10 position now for Southampton, and it's yielding. And he's a set ball specialist as well. I would not mind taking a punt on him. Test the resolve. 25 mil, 30 mil for him. I would try that. We got nothing in the midfield like that. Bentancur, very, very beautiful player, very tidy player, good on the ball, can pass, but don't do it enough. And Basuma should have been that creative force moving forward, but man, he's not even playing. I'd have Ward-Prowse in there as well, to be quite honest. I'd happily take him. But Southampton running out 2-1 winners again. I don't know where Everton are getting the next win from. I'm going to be honest with you. As soon as Lampard was announced as the Everton manager, I knew they were in trouble. And so it's proving to be this season. They have not been good. They've been horrible. And that's going to continue while he's in the job. Facets of play are not there. They can't build from the back. They can't create in midfield. I think they're one of the lowest teams in the league for shot conversions as well. And this is an Everton team at Goodison Park, and Southampton made them look very average, and Southampton are a very average team themselves. But such is life, and Southampton ended up winners 2-1 at Goodison Park, so well-deserved 3 points for them. Still in the relegation zone at the moment, but Everton, I think, are going down as well. They'll probably join them. Brentford 2, Bournemouth 0. That was live from the G-Tech. Not much to say about this game. It was a formality. Brentford were always going to win this game. It was just a matter of how many. Ivan Toney again from the spot. Really good goal scoring form at the moment. I believe that's his 13th goal of the season, Premier League. I think he's like 3 behind Kane, who's on 16, and Haaland's obviously out in front on 22 or 23. Good season from him. I mean, I know he's got this this whole betting scandal thing over his head at the moment, but he's not letting it affect him at all, which is obviously good for him. And obviously good for Brentford. Brentford will easily finish in the top 10 this season. Thomas Frank is doing a phenomenal job. And long may it continue. I like Brentford, so no, keep doing your thing, Brentford. As for Bournemouth, like I said before, I think they're going to be going down. Not enough about them. They had a few good results recently, a few hips and spurts here and there, but it's not enough. They don't have a goal scorer that's going to obviously get them the 20 goals they need to stay up, because they concede so many. Kiefer Moore is there, but he's not really the striker that you look at and be like, yeah, you're gonna bang 12, 15, 20 goals for me. He ain't that guy. Chelsea finally won. Chelsea finally won. They beat Crystal Palace 1-0 at Stamford Bridge. Didn't see this game, so there's not much I can really comment about it. I know Kai Havertz got the winning goal in the second half. Palace had a lot of the ball, I understand. I think they had a few chances from what I read, but Chelsea nicked it and just were very, very resolute. They had a new defender starting as well, so I'm guessing he was the reason. But yeah, not really much to say on that, to be honest. It sounded like a really boring game anyway. But Chelsea obviously getting the 3 points. That's all that matters at this point of the season. Obviously, it's not really about the style of football you're playing. It's about 3 points and getting up the league. So Chelsea winning that game. Newcastle still on the run. Very, very good run. Still undefeated at home this season. Still have only lost 1 game all season. I think that was to Liverpool at Anfield. Beat a very, very good and resolute Fulham side. What I'll say of Fulham is I'm very, very afraid to go there on Monday now, because that's where we're going to next at Craven Cottage. In the form that we're in at the minute, I think we're going to absolutely get folded. But Newcastle are showing why they are in the top 3 at the moment, showing their European credentials. Got no European football to play this season, which means it's obviously a lot easier for them to obviously field a full-strength team every week. And it's yielding, got some great players in there as well. Bruno Guimaraes, Almiron having the season of his life. Callum Wilson, obviously. Isak has just come back from injury. Joe Linton, who I read actually was in trouble with the police because he was caught drink driving or something or the other like that. But he's in good form as well at the minute. So Kieran Trippier, that whole Newcastle back line is on bits as well. And they've got a very good goalkeeper in Nick Pope. And then sprinkle some dust of St. Maximin, who just come back from injury as well. Yeah, Newcastle are on bits, and they might even finish in the top 4 ahead of us. And you know what? I'm all right with that, because we don't deserve to be anywhere near the top 4 right now, the way we've been playing. So, I'd rather give it to a team that actually are looking to achieve and are looking to do bits. And Newcastle look like that team. Fulham, again, will be fine this season. I don't think they'll get into the European spots. I think I'll reserve that for Brighton. But Fulham are having a really good go, man. I like what they're doing. Mitrovic was unlucky with the penalty that he missed. Didn't even get him to retake it. Came off both his feet before going into the net. So obviously that's a shot that's obviously not allowed. It's not within the rules. So obviously they gave the goal kick or free kick, I think it was, after that happened. But yeah, Newcastle will probably finish in the top 4. Fulham will probably finish in like 9th, something like that. But a very good achievement for them, and they'll probably build on that. The North London derby, we lost 2-0. And that's what I'll say about that. There's not really much more I could really say, to be honest. It's the one fixture that I look forward to, home and away, just to see if we could pepper them. And we got absolutely battered up both games this season, convincingly. These players don't want it. These players don't want it. Defensively, we are so bad. Conte needs to fix that defence first and foremost. Keep Christian Romero, keep Jed Spence. Every single one of them other ones can go. We need to upgrade on them. If you're serious about life, you don't have Eric Dyer as your linchpin in centre of defence. You don't have Ben Davies as a linchpin in the centre of your defence. You don't have Ryan Sessegnon as a left wing back competing with Ivan Perisic. You don't have Emerson Royale. I know he scored against Manchester City. You don't have Emerson Royale anywhere near the first team when you've got players like Jed Spence there, who is meant to be the future. You're supposed to be giving him minutes week in, week out, but this is what you're out here doing. Nah, that defense ain't good enough, and I need it to change exponentially this month. We need 2 bodies in there. I don't care who you get. I don't care who it is. Anyone at this point now is better than what we've got at the moment. So I need that now. Looking at it looking like a flipping laughing stock. Stop doing that to me. Stop it. I can't stand for you lot. Can't do it. So stop it. That's the roundup of game week 20. Obviously, the 2 games I said before, match day 7s couldn't be played. Crystal Palace won, Manchester United won at Selhurst Park. Michael Olise scored a dapper free kick in off the crossbar, cannon down roof of the net. Beautiful goal. Man United didn't look at it, I'm going to be honest. First half was decent. Second half, Crystal Palace came back into the game a lot more. I thought it was a decent game, and I thought the spoils were shared, rightly so. United weren't at their dominant best, and I think Crystal Palace matched them up quite well and got the well-deserved result. And then Etihad, Manchester City 4, Tottenham 2. Even when we took a 2-goal lead in at half-time, I was like, I'll be happy if we won, but at the same time, I know Man City are probably going to make a comeback, and if they do that, I'm happy as well. I don't mind taking L's if it means that Arsenal don't win the league. I don't mind that. Do you know what? I'll do it all again in 2 weeks when we play them at home. And if they pepper us again, I'm going to be happy. It's a win-win for me when we play Man City right now, because I want Man City to catch them. I want United to catch them as well. Arsenal are not winning this league. It's not happening. I don't care if they sign Trossard either. I don't give a monkeys. Good as a player as he is, I do not give a damn. I'm very animated today because I know that Arsenal fans are getting pure happy talking about, oh yeah, top 4 was the objective. Shut up, man. They know they're in a race and they don't know that they're going to lose it. That's why they're saying top 4 was the key. Top 4 is the only objective. Shut up, man. I hope you get peppered. Oh, I can't wait. Man United better do the thing this weekend. We're going to go into them games now. Game week 21, predictions. Nice and easy now. First one, Liverpool versus Chelsea from Anfield is the first game today, kicking off in a couple of hours' time. 12:30 kickoff. I'm going to go with a Liverpool... Am I? No, I'm not. I'm going to go with a draw. I'll go with a 1-1. I was going to say Liverpool win, but then I remembered they're playing Chelsea, and Chelsea usually like to go to Anfield and play very well. I'll go 1-1. I know Liverpool still have a few injuries, so do Chelsea, to be fair. But Chelsea are here signing players left, right and centre, and I do think Mudryk will start. I think Mudryk is a very good player. I like dribblers like that, so I hope he plays, and I hope that that they pepper Liverpool, to be quite honest. Not very often you hear me chant for Chelsea like that, but Liverpool fans annoy me, especially one in particular. I'll go over 1-1 draw there. Leicester City versus Brighton, live from the King Power Stadium. Leicester City are in the mud, quicksand actually. Leicester and Brighton are flying at the moment. As I said before, Brighton are one of those teams that play football the right kind of way. They play the right kind of football for me. And they could be a match for anybody, as they've proven this season. I'm going to go with a Brighton 2-1 win. Away win there for Brighton at 3 o'clock kickoff today from the King Power. Southampton versus Aston Villa from St Mary's. Draw 1-1 for me there. James Ward-Prowse, I think, will score again. I do think both teams will score in that game also. And I think... Yeah, no, we'll go 1-1. We'll go 1-1. That's it. West Ham versus Everton. I'm going to go with a West Ham win 2-0. Everton are just useless all over the pitch. West Ham are due a home win. I think they get it today. 2-0 win to West Ham from the London Stadium. Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest from the Vitality Stadium. I'm going to go with a draw on this one as well. I think there's going to be a lot of draws this weekend. Very interesting games these, but Bournemouth I think will nick a 1-1 draw here. Nottingham Forest can score goals, obviously, as we know. Got very, very good players now. Actually, do you know what? I might go for a Forest win. I think, yeah, we'll go for a 1-1 draw, potentially Forest win 2-1. That's what we'll do. Yeah, we'll go with that. Crystal Palace versus Newcastle is the later kickoff. I'm going to go with a Newcastle win, 1-0. I know Crystal Palace had a really good outing last time out against Man United, but they don't do enough. They don't score enough. And Zaha is not in any type of form at the moment, while Newcastle are. They become very resolute and do like coming to London. I don't think they've lost at London this season yet, and they've been Spurs, they've been Arsenal, they've been to Fulham, and now they'll come to Palace, and I think it'll be the same. I don't see them losing. I think they'll pick up 3 points again. We'll go to tomorrow's games as well. Manchester City are over against Wolverhampton. I think Man City, the revival carries on. I think they'll beat Wolverhampton, and I do think it'll be by about 3 or 4 clear goals. Haaland back on the score sheet again. I do think he'll score again too. So Manchester City to win that one 3-4-0 for me. Leeds United versus Brentford at Ellen Road. I'll go with a draw on that. I do think that'll be a high goal scoring game. I think it will go 2-2. Ivan Toney, I do believe, scores again, and if Patrick Bamford starts, I think he'll score along with Nonto, who is becoming a favourite in the Premier League for me at the moment, because I love the way he just direct runs at people. He's a very, very skillful player as well. Then we've got the big one at the Emirates, Arsenal versus Man United. Obviously Man United without Casemiro, who got booked in midweek, so obviously misses this game. So we'll probably go with Fred in the middle against an Arsenal side who seem to be going from strength to strength, but they will be caught, as I've said before, and I do think United will go and get the result there. I hope they get the result there, because it's absolutely needed for culture. I will say a draw, only because Arsenal tend to be very good at home, but Man United have been one of the only teams that have gone there and got results quite consistently. So I'd like to say a Man United win. If we say a win, it'll be a 2-1 win to United, but I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw here. And then obviously to finish it off, the game I'm worried about, Fulham at Craven Cottage versus Spurs. Depends which Spurs shows up. The last time we went away from home in London, we peppered Crystal Palace. We could beat Fulham, of course we can, but are we going to? I don't think we are. I think Fulham just have too much intensity for us, and I don't think we're going to be ready for it. That defence is shocking, and if we keep on playing that defence, we're going to lose games. Simple as that. So Conte needs to fix it. I do think he's the man for the job, and I do think he needs to get his own players in, but we're still playing with players in the Pochettino era. Come on, man. We need to do better. And I know why X is upset a lot as well, and I kind of agree with him. Yeah, it's not good enough to sign and quote him as well. Yeah, so that's the roundup anyway, with regards to the games that we've got today, and obviously the predictions. I've gone through all of that as also. I'm trying to think what else has happened in the week, to be quite honest. Football wise, transfers, Mudryk obviously at Chelsea. I think Chelsea obviously signed another winger. Mudieke I think is there now. I think they signed him yesterday. Trossard obviously has gone to Arsenal. Yeah, of course at Man United, yeah, which obviously everyone knew. There's going to be a few more. But as it stands at the moment, that's me. Enjoy the game this weekend. Have a good weekend, and I'll catch you next week. We'll do it again. Cheers.